Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender Europe, another playthrough session. This is designed by, our game is designed by Salvatore Vasta, published by GMT Games. This is the East first series of videos. I am trying to catch up, so I'm actually doing several of these all back to back to back. We will be beginning in January of 1940, as you can see right there. And here we go. This is sort of a, there's the, it doesn't matter what we roll in the cold, that's already been determined, but it does tell them what's going on in the mild and the warm zone. So everything went to severe this turn. And then we are on our merry way. There was no declarations of war. We are, the Russians are at 25 will through the winter of 1940, so they've lost 20 will. Most of that is to cities. We are now to the strategic warfare phase. I should have all my boxes up, which I don't. Put those up real quick. Strategic warfare. He's at a 1. I'm at a +2. Nobody had anything to play. He rolled a 7. I rolled a 6. So that's basically a wash. So nothing happened to us. Strategic movement. I'm pretty sure he probably moved something. Just not sure what. Get this out of the way. Oh yeah, his Panzer that he had rebuilt. He was bringing it over here somewhere. He tends to move the unit and then move the strategic marker to it, so he knows what unit he's moving. The West. Oh, I moved my. Since now Spain is no longer a threat, I went and moved the BEF back up to northern France. Soviets. Did I move something over here? I just moved it to 1748. That's way up north somewhere, maybe. 1748. Oh, I took it off of 1748 and put it in the events box because I didn't see any real need for a strategic move here. Everything's like right at the front, pretty much in its defense positions. I am. One of the reasons why he moved his armored right here is there was a hole here. If he hadn't plugged that by the end of his turn, I could have Russian armies running, down towards Kiev and behind him into Smolensk, and just all sorts of nightmare scenarios could have come about there. So he made sure that that wasn't going to happen. Okay, we are in the operations phase. He's activating an armored unit, maybe. Yeah. And he goes 1, 2, 3, because he didn't want to get surrounded again. We have no retreat route. And then I think he... I'm not sure that he did any attacks here. I don't think he did any attacks. Just moving back towards his convoy. Norway army. Oh, now he's down in the south. He didn't do any attacks or anything in the north, which I thought he would at least do one assault, but so he's +2 in halved, and I off at 0. He does have his tanks markers now, so he can use it. So we both committed. He threw a ground support. I threw an airplane. He threw an airplane. He threw a tanks. I think he threw the airplane just to try and run up my sorties. So I was at -4. He was at 0, +2 for German, -2 for sorties, and then he's going to be halved on his die roll. He rolled a 1. And I rolled a 6, -4 is a 2, so we each took 1 sortie. He couldn't really stop me, but, you know, he was, I guess if he'd gotten a 6 and I'd have gotten a 1, you know, he still would have been halved. So it's like, best he can do is add a couple extra sorties. It's not going to stop playing from getting in and giving me an extra +1. So we went back to this. I ended up at +2. He was +2 for German, +1 for a buddy, +1 for ground support, and then -1 for the city. So he got an 8 half down to a 4, and I rolled a 4, so nothing happened. And then I think he attacked it again. We had to go through the same rigmarole. I think he just said no. He was at a +2 to a 0. And I saved mine because the worst he can do is flip me. And I would just spend a point to bring it back. I didn't have to really do anything there. So he rolled a 4 modified to a 6 half to a 3. I rolled a 6. So it did nothing. And then he said, I'm done. Basically, he lined up for turns to come. Western Ops. I have no idea what I did. Oh, I'm bringing the mobile unit back up to his position. And getting this guy back in Calais. So kind of getting everything set up again. And the British, supply themselves, and we're off to the Soviets. Now, the Soviets are going to do a little bit of shenanigans here, I think. If I remember right, I moved this guy up here by going 1, 2, 3. And then did an assault on this infantry unit. So I was 1, 2, 3, -1. Or it's 2, -1, so it's starting off at +1. I think we're doing combat commitment, yes. So I threw my tanks. And we each threw in an airplane. I don't know why we went through this exercise. Because he's halved, so it's like he can't really do anything to me. He can't get more than 1 sortie. And I don't think we realized that. So I got back to my thing. I was +1, 2, 3 for the tank, 4 for the airplane, -1 for weather, +3 to +2. Got a grand total of 6. He had a 7, so much ado about nothing. Or no, he was a 7 halved. 3.5 rounds up to a 4, so a 6 to a 4 forces him to retreat. That was the whole point of the exercise. Then I went here and attacked. Or did I attack this line? I just think I went just into the line. And I think I'm just building out my line here. Oh no, I did try to do the attack in the north because it was like, hey, let's push the Germans back. I put my partisans marker down. I don't know what I was thinking about. It just didn't make sense to me when I look at it now. Because I'm +1 and he's at 0 because of the partisans. I think we just decided that he wasn't going to bother to throw in airplanes anymore. And I threw my tanks and an airplane and got a, where am I at? I ended up with a 9 total. He was a 6 half down to a 3. 9 to a 3 is a DD, so I flipped him, yay. And then I rolled for the partisans. Comes back in 2 turns because I was done. And that was it. It's kind of like, yeah, I made a little push. Big freaking deal. And then we go Into replacements, Axis flips over their infantry unit, and then takes 6 points, gets back a couple sorties on people. To the west, I'm pretty sure I just fixed my fleets. Soviets should be... Why am I only at 4? Oh, because, yeah, I did assume attacking. And I brought back as many airplanes as I could. We don't have any upgrades. Oh, yeah, we did. The French upgrade their army that was sitting in Sedan to being a guards unit. And then he built... where the heck did he build them? 2234. Flipped it. And he stopped there because it's a 2-point unit. The Soviets built 4 armies, I believe. Yeah, I just kind of stacked them over here. I'm going to go place them. Put 1 in Russia, 1 in Tula, 1 in Orel. Reset everything. Went to the diplomacy phase. Germany pulled a no event. The West went ahead and took the shot since we had political successes in there. Got a political success. And then went to I went and got a pro success marker and went ahead and put it in Belgium because I really wanted to be able to, put French on the Meuse in the Belgian swamp, British in Antwerp, and kind of have a, a front line, so to speak. The biggest thing I wanted is I wanted to have Sedan because I have Sedan there. If I can get a French guards unit into Brussels and then put the British into Antwerp, that's 3 very good units just sitting there, and then I can back them up like at Lille and maybe a unit in 3916 or 3015, one of those two, just for mobile reserve. And it's like he's going to have a problem getting through that line. That's my thought. So, and Soviets couldn't do anything, so we go on to the end of turn here. We're just bringing stuff in off the turn track. He gets another panzer he can build. The French Second Guard Army, so I'll have another upgrade unit. February. And I guess we went ahead and did another turn here, so we'll just keep right on going. We rolled the weather. It doesn't really matter. Declarations of war we did not do, so now we're just doing the national tracks again. Strategic warfare. He was set to 1, I was set to 2. We rolled. He rolled a grand total of 5. I rolled a 3, so that meant the Soviet factory loss went up again. And then he strategically moved the Africa army in. And I didn't really understand why, because he couldn't upgrade it. He's like, that's okay, I don't want to. I was like, well, okay. And just because I could, I strategically moved the British in. The West Soviets did not have one. We went into operations phase for the Axis. We're over here in the east now. He's got another armored unit, so if I remember right, he moved forward, did an assault here, so that he was, and he threw in the Romanian. So he had 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4. What are we doing? Combat commitment. I don't know what's going on. So there's 4-1, and he's halved. Now we're doing combat commitment. And he committed, and I didn't. And he rolled a grand total of, I don't know why he said he committed. I think we did it backwards. I don't know what we're doing there. So he ended up with a 5, halved to 2.5 becomes a 3. I rolled a 3, so nothing happened. And then he went down here to try and get this hex. And he got a 6 to a 2. 6 halved to 3. So it's a 3 to a 2, which, much ado about nothing. And then he was done. And Western Ops, I don't think I did anything other than just supply my guys. Where are we at? Soviets. This is the Soviet Grand Offensive in February of 1940. I attacked with 3 guys at the Romanian who couldn't retreat. So I was +1 net after the weather. Threw my airplane in. So I ended up at +2. So I had 4 plus 2 is 6. He rolled a 1, which is halved to a 1. So, and a 6 to 1 is a DD. So he lost 1 willpower in the Romanians. That guy went off to the dead pool. And I went ahead and took the space. Having had such great success, I decided to do it again. And I was trying to figure out which was the right unit. So I ended up, again, starting off at +1. I threw in a tanks and an airplane. So I ended up with a 4 to his 2, halved to a 1. So he becomes flipped. Then I went ahead and attacked with this guy out of Kursk. Starting off at 0. Threw in fighter. Where's this fighter coming from? Should be a tanks involved in there too. There it is. So I ended up with a 4. He had a 6 minus 2 is a 4, and then halved to a 2. 4 to a 2 is a DR. So I killed another unit. So the Romanians are down to 4 willpower now. Because they were sitting around in the front line and the Russians were able to surround them and attack them. So, pay attention when you're using your minor allies. You really don't want them extended like that, if at all possible. One thing to use them to help, in an attack or whatever, but you really don't want them subject to 3 hex assaults when they can't retreat. And moving an army. army somewhere. I have no idea where. Oh, up here in the north. I moved down into the swamp area, and that was it. That left me the Russians with 14, so I can do my 3 airplanes. I had nothing to build, so it let me build my 3 airplanes and be able to do diplomacy as well. I think that's what I did here. So through the no supply, we're doing the Germans obviously are, from 2 to 6 so that they would have 6 replacements. He didn't move his 10s right away. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's not doing his things right. There we go. I don't think he did his production move right there. So the British do their thing. Soviets down to 5 to get there. Airplanes up. And then so now we're in diplomacy. Or no, he's gone ahead and gone into he's building his units. Again, I think they're over here in the east. The armored unit goes into Königsberg. And he built one in Bremen and one in Stuttgart, and a garrison unit. And again, this is where I think we have him having one too many garrisons. If I remember right, he has 2. There's a garrison 1 there. And 1 garrison there. So he's got 2 1 garrisons, which is not correct. So I don't know if we ever corrected that. Okay. And then he went and pulled a diplomacy thing and got a no. Put a no event into the diplomacy cup and another no event. The West went, took a political success and threw it in there with a no event. And the Soviets went ahead and threw it in there too. So now the cup is completely reloaded. Everything is in there. So let's get through this. End of turn. We get our stuff for March 1941. And that's where we end. So that's the rest of the Russian winter. We'll pick up next time with the March 1941. We know it's going to be poor at best in the cold zone, but we're getting closer to the big main offensive in the summer of 41, so we're going to see how that goes. I'm Jan41. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Hit that like button. You can also leave me comments. I will respond to comments on various videos. Maybe not as fast as you might like because I am still working from home during this COVID-19, so I can't always get back to the comments. I try to get to the comments the next time I do a major upload. I do these videos through the week and on like early morning of a weekend, and then late evening of the weekends is when I start uploading them and linking them to Board Game Geek. So, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment. This is out here for everybody's entertainment, and you can tell me everything I'm doing wrong. I know I've missed a couple of die roll resolutions that seem to be off, but I think they've balanced. One was in favor of the Russians, one was against the Russians. Until we meet next time, stay safe and bye-bye.